Hello CraftDee Family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So Crafty. For today's DIY project, we'll be creating some fun and easy farmhouse DIY decor using some of the new items that I found at the Dolalr Tree. Now these pieces are easy to make, and you have the ability to customize them with your choice of florals, greenery, and even wording. Now for your convenience, I've provided the list of supplies and tools that I use to make these projects in the description box below. Now I'm so ready to jump right into this tutorial with you, but before we start, I wanted to say hey, and welcome back to my amazing subscribers and visitors to my channel. Now if you are a new visitor to my channel today and love to create fun and easy DIY projects on a budget, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and also click that notification bell so you will be the first to know when a new DIY tutorial is ready to share with you. So now, let's just jump right into those projects. Now this project is a wagon wheel tiered planter. Now we're going to need 2 of these crates from the Dolalr Tree and 1 Nautical Helm steering wheel from the Dolalr Tree. So I'm going to start off by placing my grid mat down, and I'm going to go ahead and clip the tags from my Nautical steering wheel. Now what we want to do is we want to cut this right down to center in half, and that center point will be where your tag is hanging. So I'm taking my ruler, I'm going to line it down the center and with my ruler, and then I'm going to take my pencil and just draw a line so I'll know where the center is. Now sometimes the hole punch in this piece isn't exactly centered, but it's okay. It won't be seen in the final project if it's off by a little. So I'm taking my X-Acto knife here, and I'm just going to score it 2 or 3 times until I get a nice deep cut, and then if you bend it, it should snap evenly right apart. Now once that's done, we're going to cut off all of these little handles on the side, and this should be easy to cut with a pair of sharp scissors, or you can use your X-Acto knife for those as well. Now you're going to repeat this for your second piece until they both are done. Now if you have some uneven edges, just take a piece of sandpaper and then sand them all even until the edges are nice and rounded. And now you have your 2 side pieces and your crates. Now I'm going to be staining my pieces, and of course I'm going to be using my Jacobian stain by Wax. You just want to go ahead and start to stain all the pieces, and I'm starting with the wheel, and I'm just going to stain both sides. You also want to make sure you get around those edges as well, because those will be seen in your final project. Now once that first one is done, go ahead and repeat this for your second wheel until both are completely covered. So now you want to go ahead and stain those crates as well. Remove all of those tags and stain all of the inside and outside of the crates. And here is one of the crates all done, and just repeat this until the second crate is done as well. Now once everything is stained, sit those out for a couple of hours to completely dry. So now that they're dry, we have all of our pieces ready, and we can assemble our tiered tray. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of those halves of those wheels, and we're going to take one of our crates. Now you want to put the ugliest side to the back, which is where that glue is showing from the manufacturer, and you want to align that cut edge of the wheel with the back of the crate. Now to give you a better view, I'll flip it over, and you'll see the cut edge is going to be aligned along the back side, and the top of the wheel is going to be aligned along the top of the crate. Now once you get your placement, you want to apply a generous amount of hot glue, and I am using Wood Stick Hot Glue by Bonder. You just want to press that firmly into place until it's secure, making sure the top edge and that back edge are nice and aligned. So now you're going to take that second crate, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line it up on the bottom. Now I'm going to be using my carpenter square from Dolalr Tree to make sure that that bottom edge will be nice and even with the bottom edge of that wheel. So I'm going to offset my crate, sitting the bottom crate slightly forward of the top crate, and then I'm going to draw a little outline of the corner of that crate. So I'm going to put glue on that little corner of the crate that overlaps the wheel, and I want to place that corner right on the wheel. And when you do place it, make sure that that bottom edge is aligned with the bottom of that ruler, just to make sure everything will sit nice and level. Now once that edge is nice and secure, we could take our other wheel and we're going to put it on the top of our crates. We're just going to make sure our alignment is nice and even, just like we did at the bottom. And I'm going to draw a line where that wheel is going to sit on the side so we know where to apply our glue. Then just go ahead and apply a generous amount of that hot glue on those areas where the wheel will overlap, on the top and then on the bottom of the bottom crate. And then place that wheel into place, and then make sure you press it firmly and make sure those edges are nice and aligned. Now once the glue has a chance to set, you could just test it out, make sure everything is even, and remove any of the hot glue webs, any of the hot glue that oozes out of the seams as well. So once it does dry, you could decorate however you like. Now I chose some wildflowers that I got from the Dollar Tree. I thought these were just so cute and adorable, and you could choose any kind of flowers that you like, but I placed one in each crate, and oh my goodness, I think it turned out really great. And here is my tiered wagon wheel shelf on display. Now I think it is so adorable. Now I've been wanting to make a piece like this for so long, and you could just imagine my excitement when I saw the nautical wheels come in at the Dollar Tree. They worked perfectly in this project. Now you can stain or paint these as you like and outfit them with the favorite floral bunches of your choice. You all have to let me know what you think about this project in the comments below. Now this project is a lantern wall sign. Now we'll need any long sign from the Dollar Tree. We'll also need 3 of these lanterns from the Dollar Tree. We'll need 6 tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree. We'll need 6 craft sticks from the Dollar Tree. And 3 wood cubes or beads from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to lay out my Surebonder silicone mat and grab all of my wood pieces and my hot glue. Now I will again be using my Surebonder wood stick hot glue. Grab your straight edge, and you want to glue each one of those tumbling blocks in sets of 2 end to end as shown here for all 6 of the blocks to make 3 total sets. Now once your 3 sets are all bonded together, you're going to take those craft sticks and you're going to place 1 craft stick on each side of that set. So just apply a generous amount of that hot glue right on the side and place a craft stick right on top. Then take your scissors and cut off all of the excess so it's even with the edge of your blocks. Now we're just going to do this on the other side as well, and we are going to add that stick on there, press firmly, and cut off all of that excess. So now we have 1 assembled block set. So now all we have to do is just to add our cube or a wood bead if you have it, apply some glue to the end, and press that little block on the end. Make sure it's nice and secure. Now what this is this will be a holder for all of our lanterns, and so we're going to repeat this for the other 2 block sets. And here are all of our hooks all made and ready to go. So now we're going to wrap all of the lanterns, and we're going to remove all of those tags from the lanterns. Now I am going to also remove the candles, and they just push right out of the bottom. Now what I'm going to be doing with these lanterns is I am actually going to be painting these in a black color. Now I'm going to be using some Krylon flat black spray paint to do this. I'm going to apply 2 coats, making sure it dries at least 10 minutes in between each coat, and you want to do this for the hangers as well. So while those dry, I'm going to grab my sign, and I am going to be preparing it for paint. So initially I was going to paint the back, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the hanger, a string from the back, and remove all of the staples. Now I got to thinking, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do the front because it has those slats on there that I really like. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to remove this metal heart from the front. So I just took a tool and just scraped it right off. You can use a screwdriver to do this. And of course it's going to tear your sign. So in order to smooth it out, just take some sandpaper and just smooth it nice and even with the remainder of the sign so it blends right in. So now I'm going to protect my work surface and I'm going to be painting my sign. And in order to do this, I'm going to be using some white chalk paint. So I'm going to go ahead and add some chalk paint to the front of my sign, and I want to make sure I apply a nice even layer over the entire front and along the edges of the sign. Now once it's all applied, let it completely dry and then apply a second coat and let that dry as well. So now that the very top layers are nice and dry, I wanted to highlight some of those panels. So I'm going to scoop out the paint that went in between those little edges, and I'm using this embossing tool that I got from Dollar Tree to do this. You could use a pen or a pencil, but this is what I had on hand. And when it is scraped out, it really gives the rustic look of individual panels, and I'm absolutely loving this look. So my camera did stop in the middle of this section, but what I did is I drilled 3 holes at the bottom of my sign, and I put 1 in the middle and 2 on each side. And then I'm going to grab my lanterns that are nice and dry. These holes will be holding these little hooks here to hold my lanterns in place. Now what I did is I drilled a hole in the back of each one of these little hooks as well. And as you might guess, they're going to attach to the front of the sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some screws to hold my hooks in place. I think this is the best way. You know, hot glue is okay, but for this, I think screws would be best, and I'm using 3/4 inch wood screws. So I'm going to start to apply a screw through the back of my sign into the front. You can use your drill or screwdriver, whatever you're comfortable with. Now once all 3 screws are inserted into the back, go ahead and flip it over to the front, and you'll notice the 3 screws are sticking out of the front of your sign. So this is where your hooks come into play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just thread one of the lanterns onto the hook, and then I'm going to place that back end of the hook that has the pilot hole connected to the back of that screw, and then screw it in. You just want to make sure it's in there all the way, and don't strip out the line. Just go ahead and screw it in until it's nice and snug. So now when you flip it over and look, your little cube part should be pointing up where your lantern doesn't fall off. And now you can repeat this on both of the other ends on the other 2 screws. And here are all 3 of my lanterns on the little hooks. I like the fact that they extend out a little further and they look like they're free hanging like natural lanterns would be. So this is the absolute perfect look that I was going for this project. So now that that's done, we need to decorate the top. So I thought maybe I can do a Cricut cutout on this, but I really wanted to keep it simple. So I went through my stash and I saw this home sign back from Valentine's Day that I had left over. I love that it has a natural wood texture on the front. So I said, yes, this will work perfect for this. I really love it, and it's very farmhouse looking. So I cut off the tags and the strings on the back. I'm just going to apply a few dabs of hot glue on each end and then place it on my sign. So once that's nice and centered and looks good, I was like, okay, that looks great. So now I want to add some greenery to each end. So I have these bunches of clover that I picked up from Walmart. They were only 97 cents a bunch. So I'm going to pick off about 4 little stems of that, and then I'm going to wrap the ends in some jute twine. Now you just want to wrap it up until there's about 1 inch or so of the bottom covered, and then clip it off at the end and hot glue that end in place so it doesn't fray. Now once you have that first bundle, you're just going to go ahead and repeat and do a second bundle to go on the other side. Now you just figure out the placement to make sure that they're even, apply some hot glue to the sign, and place your little bundles at each end. And now I'll grab your candles and turn them on, and you can stick them right up into your lantern's bottom. They'll fit nice and snug, and I'm loving the little warm flicker that these little candles have in these lanterns. So in order to hang this, go ahead and flip it over to the back, and I have some jute string with knots tied on each end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one of these on each side of the back of my sign. So I'm just going to put a generous dab of hot glue, 2 dabs, and place a knot in each one of those dabs and press that knot into the hot glue. Now you want to do this on both sides and then go back and cover up those ends with a little more hot glue just to make sure it's nice and secure in place. Now once that completely dries, you are ready to hang your sign. And here is our cute little sign all hung up and on display, and I'm loving the look with these new lanterns. Now I think that this sign would be perfect in an entryway or even displayed above some fun farmhouse cow print art. Now these projects were both so much fun to make today. You guys have to let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. Listen, if you love DIYs on a budget, please give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So Crafty EE on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest for the latest news, sneak peeks, and giveaways. And if you like videos like these and you don't want to miss the next one, make sure you're subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below, or just click on my She's So Crafty logo on your screen, and make sure you hit that bell to be notified when the next DIY goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.